Hey guys, a quick video, I hope. I only reached level 81 and I couldn't stand playing it any longer. But not because the build is bad, it's just the playstyle is not for me, I guess. But nonetheless, I wanted to share this experimental build. This build started as an Ice Spear build, and after we announced the rework, I decided to remake this build into elemental hit using Trypanon mace. If you don't know, Trypanon is an extremely slow mace but always have 100% critical strike chance. And I wanted to combine it with Maraline's Fallacy amulet, which gives up to 240 critical strike multiplier. Using elemental equilibrium, all elements from elemental hit of course, getting attack speed, accuracy, and I wanted to see how far can I take this build into endgame. But the playstyle is just probably not for me. Despite trying to get a lot of attack speed, it still felt sluggish and slow. It may not feel as slow because I'm literally one-shotting enemy packs and even most of the rares, and in the end it's slow and doesn't even hit hard. Or at least you do need a lot of conditional things that would make it hit very hard. The perfect conditions would be you hit with lightning elemental hit and you shock the boss, then you hit with cold and chill boss, then the next hit with the fire one because that's the highest one damage, and it also rolls the Ruthless, so you do a lot more damage. And when that happens, you definitely see a big chunk of boss life just disappear. And depending on those conditions, you could hit up to 400,000, maybe a bit more than 400,000 shaper DPS. But it would probably not be a pleasant fight. I did tier 13 Elder and his Guardians. Well, some of his Guardians went pretty well, but the other ones were like really horrible. And the Elder fight itself was also pretty bad. But then again, I was only level 81, and in 8 or 9 more levels I would gain much more damage and more life, but I just didn't want to play it anymore and I wanted to rush it. I am using Fenumus Weave Gloves, but you don't have to use them. You could use two-sucker Tombfist, but the slow from aspect of the spider does help a lot for this build. Since I also have Blasphemy with Temp Chain, and since this build is so sluggish, you kind of want to make enemies even slower than you, which would give you enough time to rush to the enemy pack and destroy them before they hit you. And if that doesn't help, I do have some mitigation. I am also using Shroud of the Lightless because I am using all the elements, so I do want some penetration for all the elements. However, the problem was that I had to get 3 of course on this body armor, and that definitely can add some extra cost, but at least you only need to 5 link it. Also, since this build is so slow, you kind of don't want to miss. And instead of getting more damage, I decided to go with Ascendancy Juggernaut for extra 1000 accuracy, endurance charge generation, cannot be chilled and cannot be stunned. And that makes it easier to get up because otherwise you would have to get a lot of accuracy on most of your other items, and you would have to worry about getting stunned and being slowed, because there's nothing worse than being slowed on an already slow build. And the other sub-ascendancy is Inquisitor for more critical strike multiplier and all the damage stuff. While leveling this build felt really squishy and very unpleasant to play with, until I started using Blasphemy with Temporal chains and Arctic Armour. For a bit more defenses, I do have Vaal Grace, which gives me a chance to dodge attacks and spells, and for more cast speed I do have Blood Rage, Ancestral Protector, which must be linked with Brutality or else it will screw up your elemental equilibrium. I also have cast when damage taken linked with Immortal Call and summon Lightning Golem, appropriate level. I just didn't like resummoning Lightning Golem, so I just decided to go with cast when damage taken. And I do have Phase Run, linked with increased duration and Vaal Grace. As for the passive skill tree, well, since this is a Scion, you're gonna have to do some refunding once you do the Uber Lab. And the rest, as always, life, attack speed, critical strike multiplier, whatever attributes you need, some AoE because without it, it definitely felt horrible. Of course, elemental equilibrium as soon as possible, jewels with flat life, and would be nice to get more attack speed. If not, then a bit more accuracy would help. This is, by the way, level 90 passive skill tree. And that basically covers this build. For my next build, I think I'm gonna be doing Fire Nova Mind Trickster with a lot of cast speed. I didn't even know that Fire Nova Mind does benefit from cast speed, so I want to kind of experiment with that. And why Trickster? Because it's gonna be CI using the Crank Staff. Once I start recharging Energy Shield, I get 40% attack and cast speed, and also after using Movement ability I get 20% cast speed. So we basically get 60% cast speed on top of all the other cast speed nodes. So that should be interesting, and if it doesn't work very well, I could just refund into very fast like Freeze Pulse or something else. Anyway, that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching and see you soon.